Hello and welcome to Tarrant County College. My name is López and I will be your instructor for STSC Transitions to College Success. So whether this is your very first semester at TCC or if you're one of our returning students, welcome aboard. I am super excited to have you guys in class and I'm excited to hopefully meet you all in person once this whole, you know what's going on. Once this is over, then, you'll be able to stop by my office whenever we go back to working back at the campuses. So as of right now, everybody at TCC is working from home, as far as we know, until August. What I wanted to do is I wanted to give you guys a chance to meet me. I wanted to put a face with the name. I want to go over a few things that we're going to cover in class, what type of materials you'll need, and where to locate our course information. So those are the elements that we're going to cover in this video. And feel free to hold on to it. It'll be a YouTube link that I'm going to send out to you all via email. I'm also going to post it in MyTCC, also known as Blackboard, and you'll have access to it at any time. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I will formally introduce myself. So if you've had a chance to kind of, glance over the syllabus or the instructor course requirements, you'll see that my name is López. This is my 12th year working for TCC, my 10th year full-time. Woohoo, finally. So I will get my 10-year pin this year, I should, or at least I should be getting it, because I'll send it in the mail. And I've worked as an instructor and I've worked as an academic advisor. I've worked for all 3 divisions of the college. Right now I work for 3 of our 6 campuses, and I think I have like 6 different titles right now. So they're keeping me busy, and it's going to get really interesting considering that I am 1 week away from going into my 3rd trimester of my pregnancy. I am due in August. It will not interfere with your class. Your class starts on Tuesday, June 2nd, 2020, and it ends on Thursday, July 2nd, 2020. So 5 weeks, we're in and out. If you've been here before, or you've had friends, family members, or siblings that have been in classes, typically during the fall or the spring, our classes might be much longer, like 16 weeks. Want to make sure that you are aware that with this being a 5-week course, it is accelerated. So we got to roll. Okay? We're going to hit the ground running as soon as we get going. I will release your course information within the next day or 2 because I need to make a couple of changes to it. They did adopt a new book, so the book has changed. So I need to alter a couple of assignments to match the new edition of the book, and I'm going to show you guys how to access that book. And then also, what else? Yeah, whatever. We'll go from there. Okay, so like I said, I am an instructor. I advise for TCC. My primary role here is I am the College Readiness Academic Advisor for the South Campus that is in Fort Worth. So what I do as the College Readiness Academic Advisor is I'm the main contact for the Academic Foundations Department. So anything that has to do with pre-college level coursework, more specifically, if we're talking about that very first level of those developmental or those refresher classes, so the pre-high school level stuff, that's my domain. I'm the gatekeeper for that if you ever take a course at the South Campus. So that would include Math 0090, that's adult education math. That also includes integrated reading and writing 0090. So those are my primary groups. I do work with INRW 0399 as well, which is the last level of reading and writing before you go into your college level classes. But my primary assignment is that first fundamental level of working with those students. I'm also the main contact for our ESL, English as a Second Language program, as well as our ESOL, English for Speakers of Other Languages programs. those both fall under academic foundations as well. So you will see my name on those classes. I have to actually grant the people permission to sign up for certain ones. So if you see, it's going to be my name, or it's going to be the ESL coordinator on there. So I will be one of the people that signs off on those. ESL, English as a Second Language. So that's for our students that want to improve their language skills. Maybe they recently moved to the United States and they want to work on their, English from, everyday life, like going to work, going to the doctor, going to the grocery store, and it's, workplace English. And those are non-credit courses. So I'm certified to teach those. Like I said, that's where I got my start 12 years ago. Back when I first graduated from school. And then ESOL, English for Speakers of Other Languages, that's the academic track. So it runs parallel to the integrated reading and writing courses, but they're academic courses geared toward our English language learners. So in most of these cases, these students have high school diplomas, and like my last class, like almost everybody in there had a degree. Like if not a bachelor's, they had a master's. So their goal was to improve that academic, that professional English, so they could either apply to graduate school, or they could continue their field. So I've had nurses, I've had accountants, I've had teachers, we've had doctors, we've had lawyers, I've had a dentist, engineers, people that have ended up working for us, So we have picked up a few too, out of class, after they got their credentials, we hired them. So, TCC is a beginning. It's not the end point. It's the beginning for a lot of people. And you'll see us work with people from like the youth programs all the way up till senior education. Who else do I work with? So I've got Math INRW, ESL, ESOL. I have the Step Above program. So that's the students that have intellectual or developmental delays. So it could be somebody that may have been in special education in high school. That is not always the case, and it could encompass some other factors. So I work really closely with the student accessibility resources department to get those students those accommodations that they need to level the playing field, bring them up to the starting line, and get them on their way. And then from there, the classes I teach right now. So I do teach Transitions to College Success. I teach it for South Campus in Fort Worth, Southeast Campus in Arlington, and then the online version for TCC Connect. This is new. So you guys are the third round, I believe. So I think it started in the fall. Yeah, it started in the fall. We had the spring round, and then you guys are going to be the summer round. So it's still relatively new. We haven't done it for a full year yet online. That it's typically a face-to-face course. And then I'm also certified to teach certain business courses. My master's is in HR training and development, so I focused in on developing training programs. So you'll see I train a lot of TCC employees and stuff here. So I was kind of told, hey, if you're going to train all these people, you might as well get the sheet of paper that says you know how to do it. So I got the sheet of paper that says I know how to do it. So that's why you'll see my name in multiple places. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of what they have me doing right now. But yeah, my primary role is under advising and counseling. You'll see me under academic foundations, and you'll also see me listed under business and technology. And like I was saying before, I've worked for various sides of TCC, the non-credit side, the credit side, and the corporate side, where we work with the area businesses to outsource different types of training classes. I've done that side of it too. I did that very early on, like right around the time I graduated from college the first time. So they got me pretty early. I think it was less than a year after I graduated, now that I think about it. So I think I barely turned 23 when I got hired here to teach. And I'm trying to think, other than that, said, our class ends in July. The plan is for you guys to hopefully return to campus in August for fall classes. They start the week of August 24th. I won't be back at that time. I go on maternity leave earlier in August, so it won't interfere with your class. And then I'm not teaching in July. I won't be back in August. I'll probably be back during the second 8 weeks, which will be in October. So I'll be working with people in October to get signed up for their spring classes. Actually, the students I have right now, I'm already pre-planning their stuff. So that's why it's kind of crazy to get on my schedule right now. And like I said, anything else that you guys have questions about, whether it's about class or if it has to do with summer or fall registration, go ahead and ask me. Remember, there's approximately 116 full-time academic advisors. There's 100,000 of you guys. So we'll do the best that we can to make sure each one of you guys is taken care of and you have what you need, all right? So let's go and actually look at where your class information is going to be located, all right? Here we go. I apologize, I am out of breath. Homegirl down here is taking up a lot of room. I guess I ate too much earlier. Okay, let me see. So what I'm going to is I'm going to be using Google Chrome, and I'm using a traditional laptop for some weird reason. Some of the stuff in MyTCC or Blackboard isn't 100% compatible with tablets, your smartphones, or the Google Chromebooks. It acts really weird with that too for some reason. So just try to make sure if you're going to be doing this class or any other class with TCC, try to get access to a traditional laptop or a desktop computer. If you do not have access to one or yours starts acting funky, please let me know as soon as possible. We do have devices at the library that we can check out to you, but I got to get you on the list quick. So you got to make sure that you speak up so we can get those either out to you. I'm not sure if you guys pick them up or if they're going to ship them to you, but we do have some. So do not let the fact that you do not have a laptop or your laptop broke keep you from being successful in class this summer. Okay, so that's going to be on you. Make sure that you speak up and we will get you what you need, all right? So information for our class is going to be located in MyTCC. So those of you guys that are returning students, so again, this class is really geared towards students that are in their first semester at TCC, but I did notice that I've got some of you guys that have been here previously that are returning students. So this will be information you're already familiar with. MyTCC, also known as Blackboard, this is where your assignments are housed. Your course information populates 1 week before the start date of the course. So if you have classes that you've signed up for summer session 2 or for the fall, they will not be visible here yet. It's always 1 week before the actual start date. So you got to look at your schedule and see what the date says, count back 1 week. Versus whether you're, when you're in the web advisor, then you are able to see those records right away. That's where we house your student records. And when you sign up for a course, it populates immediately. Okay, so you'll be able to see your summer and your fall classes if you've already signed up. Actually, I highly recommend that if you haven't, go ahead and do it, because the students that have just graduated from high school haven't come in full force yet because we're still waiting on their high school transcripts. So I would take care of that, I would say, within the next week or two. Otherwise, you guys are going to be fighting for space for fall. Okay, and then over here you'll see announcements on the right, which you can see I've already posted some stuff for you guys to look at. On the left, you'll see things ranging from the #NotAnymore video down to where you can access your email, web advisor, tutoring, COVID-19 information, all that kind of stuff. Your courses are going to populate down here. So even for me, you can see some of the stuff where I've been teaching. And your course information is here under summer 2020. Make sure that your pop-up blocker is off. And 9 times out of 10, again, like I was saying, try to use Google Chrome, Safari, or Firefox. Microsoft Edge does okay. Internet Explorer, They don't seem to push through a lot of the updates, so it seems to act really weird with this. So if you can use Google Chrome, that's what I would use. Okay, and then when you go in, you'll automatically see the announcements. Our syllabus is over here as well. Your course information is going to populate over here too. If you are accessing this from the app, like maybe you're on your smartphone or your tablet, sometimes the menu button collapses and it looks like this, because I've had people that message me and said, hey, you put all the class stuff up, I can't find it. 9 times out of 10, what has happened is the menu bar has collapsed. So all you have to do is either click on the little arrow or you touch the left side of your screen and the menu will expand back out. Okay. And then that way you'll be able to see exactly what's going on. In our case, we have approximately 8 units to cover over the 5 weeks. So I'll make 2 units due every week. We'll probably wrap up possibly like a day or 2 before class officially ends. So I have time to get your projects graded, and then, you know, you'll have the 4th of July to yourself. And I usually release all the assignments for the entire course within the first week, meaning you are allowed to work ahead and you can finish early. I did have people in the spring class that finished about a week or 2 early. So they had a full 8 weeks. They did everything in like 6. Okay, so yeah, so it is possible to finish early. Once I go in there and I actually release the assignments to you, what I'll do is I'll send you guys an email. I'll post it in MyTCC and I will send out the email to let you know that you're good to go to get started. In the meantime, you may want, if you have the app, you may want to mute your notifications, because anytime I move stuff around, you get an alert, because I get them too. So you don't want 100 different alerts in an hour time span because I'm moving stuff around. So I will give you a heads up when I officially turn everything on, and then when I'm actually done moving stuff around. So I'm not gonna really turn stuff on until it'll probably be sometime on Tuesday when the class actually starts. It'll probably be Tuesday evening when I actually turn it on, since I'll be working during the day with me working full-time for TCC. Fair enough? Okay, so some of the announcements that you'll see down here is I put the welcome message that I posted earlier in the week. This video link will go right here. My contact information's down here, my work hours, how to download Microsoft Office 365. So as college students, you have access to Microsoft Office 365 free of charge. You just use your MyTCC email to get signed up and make sure you're on the device that you would like to download it on. I believe you get 5 licenses unless they've changed it. And then Google Docs is fine as well. But yeah, you will need access to Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint for this course. So you're going to get a little bit of a taste of all 3 of those programs. So if you weren't computer savvy before, you're going to get a little bit of a crash course in it, but I'm going to work with you, okay? Some information about student accessibility resources if you need to request accommodation. So it could be for a not just an intellectual disability, it could be something temporary. Like I've had people that have had situations where they've had to have surgery, you know, stuff like that does happen. There's also information about accessing free or low-cost textbooks and internet as well. So I made sure I posted that. And then the last thing that I posted earlier in the week was if you wanted to test out of the course. So, you know, TSI testing is open. I have to submit a referral for you. Me or one of the other academic advisors, we have to actually put that in. It seems like it's taking about a week for people to get on the schedule to test. You're testing remotely, so you need to make sure that you have a device you can test on that has a web camera, because a live person has to supervise your testing. And typically what they do is if the class has already started and you're going to test, you are awarded that grade that you have in the class at that time. So if you're planning to test out, make sure that you participate until we get your scores. And then that way I can put your grade in that you have the course at the time, and then I can go ahead and actually close out your file. Don't, you know, kind of ghost the class and not show up and you're like, oh, well, I'm going to retest. It doesn't work that way. Okay. But I did bring that up because I did see that there were about 5 or 6 people that were already TSI met, and I wanted to give them that heads up. And I wasn't sure if anybody else was already scheduled to go ahead and try to retest on math, reading, or writing. But if you are going to do that, then it's your responsibility to let me know, as well as any other developmental instructors that you have. You need to notify them, let them know I've retested. And then if you've become TSI met or college level, then you need to notify them, and then they will tell you what the next step is for their respective department, so they can go ahead and exit you out the course without you dropping it. Because remember, you've paid for this, or financial aid has paid, and if you drop it, then you might owe funds back. That's what I'm saying. Don't mess with stuff. I want to make sure I actually put a grade in, and then it will exit you out that way without you losing any money. Okay? Yeah, so all your stuff will be over here on the left. Our syllabus is here. Syllabus, instructor course requirements. I did a Word version, a PDF version, and I pasted it in here. So there I am in my office. Put the information about the class, some of the background information. So what you'll see, in my case, I was a working student, so I worked full-time while I worked on my bachelor's degree, and I worked full-time while I worked on my master's. Do I recommend that you take 5 classes and work over 40 hours a week? No, but it is possible. So I am living proof of that. So my undergrad is from the University of Texas at Austin, the Horns, and it is in Spanish language teaching, and I specialized in applied learning and development, which focuses on literacy acquisition, second language acquisition, and special education. So that's my ESL, ESOL connection, because I did a lot of work with not so much as bilingual, but with ESL. And then my master's is in human resources training and development. So somebody gave me the idea at work, because they like to use me to train other instructors and other advisors, and they said, why don't you get this sheet of paper that says you actually know how to do it? So I sat down, took the 12 classes I needed for my master's degree. Yeah, it was only 12, that was it. And taught classes, planned my wedding, and went to school full time all at the same time. And graduated debt free. Yes, that's possible too. Didn't take out a single loan. Contact information's here. When we do our office hours, I'm going to set aside time where I'll be on the computer. So you'll get a notification a couple of days in advance. Hey, I'll be, on the computer from 6 to 8 p.m. on Fridays. So you don't have to track me down to make a one-on-one appointment. You can just drop in. Chances are we'll be using Microsoft Teams or Blackboard Collaborate Ultra for those video calls. So it'd be kind of like a live streaming video call, kind of like FaceTime or Skype if you've used it before. And you're welcome to pop in, ask questions about class, get help with homework. A lot of people in my spring class just popped in just to say hi, because a lot of them were quarantining by themselves, and we would chit chat for about 20 minutes every week because they needed somebody to talk to. That's fine too. I don't mind the company. And it's also good for networking purposes, because remember, you're going to need to have some job references and some references for scholarships and for your universities and stuff. So you want to make sure you get to know, a couple of your professors and other employees around TCC, because you might need us to sign off on something. So even if you don't have a question about homework, still drop in and introduce yourself, okay? And then once we get back to on-campus operations, feel free to swing by my office at any time. Here's our textbook information right here. So they did change the book for the summer. So A Pocket Guide to College Success is the 3rd edition. I actually found a electronic version of it. So you do see right here where the print ones are like $40. We actually found one through a third-party seller that sells the books for approximately $17. So it's over here. This is what it looks like. Do you have to buy it from our in-house bookstore? or this particular seller, no, you do not. I just want to make sure that you do not overpay. Like if they're charging you $60 from the book, for the book, it doesn't cost $60. Okay. If you're gonna buy it from another third party, such as Amazon, eBay, Chegg, or Cheap Books, make sure that you have the ISBN that goes with it. It's that 978 number that goes above the barcode if you are using a hard copy. Let me see. Materials for class. So something to write with, something to write on. Your textbook, so whether it's a print copy or it's a digital copy, you can use either one. I recommend the e-copy because it does grant you instant access. I gave it a test run myself. As soon as I paid for it, I was able to get right in it. Computer access, because again, the smartphones, the tablets, and the Google Chromebooks tend to glitch with some of the assignments. They freeze on them, they'll lock up. So try to make sure that you have access to an actual desktop computer or laptop computer, such as a Dell or an HP or Asus, anything like that. If you don't have one, let me know so we can ship it to you, and you need reliable internet access. You've already done the online readiness assessment, otherwise you wouldn't be in the class. Some of the stuff that we'll be covering: goal setting, time management, study skills, and different things like that. I really spend a great deal of time on time management because it's not so much that people have trouble with the coursework. They can handle the work academically. It's balancing work plus school plus family and trying to get that into the mix and making school a priority and figuring out what your real reason is for actually being here. So is it to earn a degree? Is it to earn a certificate? Are you trying to get promoted where you already work, but you've plateaued and you're trying to move into that next level, like management position? Are you close to retirement? Because actually in my case, I get very few students that are between the ages of 18 and 22. Most of my students are working students. Most of mine are past that 35 and up mark. So my students are older than me, and they are trying to figure out what their next chapter is going to be, whether it's from a career standpoint or whether it's from a personal standpoint. So I teach my classes a little bit differently because it's not so much as what do you want to be when you grow up. It's okay, you're grown. What is your next chapter? What next? What are we going to do? How do I get you to the next level? So that's a lot of times that's what's going to be my focus. There's our grading breakdown right here. And then contact information too. So this is available in MyTCC. It is also available when you go search for information for the classes. So you see the blue hyperlink, that first one right there, that's me. If you click on it, there's the syllabus right there. And then the last place that you could find it is if you go into Web Advisor and you go under my class schedule and attendance. And once that loads, you'll be able to select Summer 2020, click on our course information, and then the syllabus pops up there too. So I've had the summer and the fall information up for at least a couple of weeks now, and until they updated the book recently. But everything else has kind of been there for I'd say at least 2 or 3 weeks, but my stuff's been posted for a while. Okay, so minimize that. Alright guys, so that's pretty much all I've got for the moment. Again, welcome to TCC, or welcome back for those of you guys that are returning students. If you need anything, feel free to email me, call me, message me on Microsoft Teams. We'll schedule a video call so we can talk face to face, or this is about as close as face to face as we're going to be able to get. I'll post video announcements in addition to the written ones just to make sure stuff is clear, because I know stuff can get lost in translation. And except we'll roll from there. In some cases, give me a little bit of time to respond to some of your emails, because again, I am working during the day, Tomorrow's the last day to sign up for summer registration for summer session 1. So I know I'm going to be really busy tomorrow between that and finalizing stuff for your class. Summer 2 is going to go full force. We're getting ready to get the high school kids in. But I will set aside dedicated time that is exclusive to your class. So that way you're not competing for space with those new students coming in and my returning students and my students that have graduated that are about to start at the universities in August. So another project I'm working on. But yeah, that's all for now. And I guess we'll talk soon. Take care. And we will see you guys officially on Tuesday. Have a good night.